Do you
Mm-hmm.
still love me anymore? Do you still want to be together?
Mm-hmm.
Is this
Mm-hmm.
how you break up with me?
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Apologetically Me. I'm Maggie,
I'm Wanda.
and we're here to talk about Valentine's Day. It's the season of giving, season of receiving. But before we get started, Wanda, tell the people what you got going on.
But my update this week is that I finally caved and got a humidifier because everyone, which is Maggie and Prabby, was like, how do you not have a humidifier? You need a humidifier because condos get really dry, I guess, in the winter, and I've never lived in a condo really in the winter time, so I never knew. But I've been sneezing a lot recently, and I feel like in general, I just feel like I've been like a little bit dry. That sounds weird. But so I caved. I bought one of Prabby's recommendations. I don't know if I should have just like dropped $100 on a humidifier, but like it looked really cool. The ratings were good. There's Bluetooth, like it's app controlled and everything. And it looked like really good at Prabby's place. So I was like, okay, well, fuck it, whatever. So I got it, and it was like measuring the humidity or like the amount of, I guess, water in the air, and we were at like 33% when we first turned it on. And I was like, oh shit. Apparently, it's supposed to be at 45 to 60 is like the optimal range. So we were very below that. And I was like looking up the symptoms of like what happens when you have like very low humidity in your place, and it's like, oh, you might actually have cold symptoms, might be more susceptible to getting colds and viruses, you might have like dry skin, you might like just a whole bunch of bad shit basically. So I can't believe I delayed getting this for so long. I didn't know one pushed me harder.
Well, I didn't want to push you because I think you had temporarily kind of lived with Jordan, like when he had his place like years ago, and you guys didn't see any issues. So I was like, maybe you guys aren't like susceptible to low humidity.
I feel like that was we only lived in Toronto from March to November though. Like we were never here.
Oh, that makes so much more
Yeah.
sense. Okay. Yeah. Well, sorry. So has it changed? Like, have your symptoms improved since you've got the humidifier?
I mean, like, my sneezing got really bad over the weekend, but then it kind of like cooled down a lot. So I don't actually know. And I just got my
Mm.
humidifier set up a few hours ago because I just got it this morning. So,
Nice.
but
Yeah.
it's cool.
Um, Another hard part with owning a humidifier is the cleaning process. It gets
But
so yucky. You have to, like, your humidifier will tell you to clean it every week, but, like, because it's, like, a place where water is, right? Like, if you don't clean it regularly, it just gets, like, so yucky and moldy, and then you're gonna have more problems. Um, and we put off cleaning it for a month or so. It got pretty gross.
wait a second. Mine just says to use, like, dump out the water every single night and like refresh it with new water. That's
Make
all
sure you're
mine
using
says.
filtered water, but,
Yeah.
no, you should clean your humidifier too.
Well, how do you clean it? Like, what part am I cleaning?
Everything. Like the inside of it, the tube. Wait, which one do you have, by the way?
The one that Prabby recommended that was $100.
Is it Lavoit brand from
Um,
Amazon?
it is from Amazon. It is,
Is it the one
yes.
he had at his
Yeah.
condo? Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
we have too. That's the one I told
Oh.
him we got, and then he was like, "Oh, you should really like make sure you're not buying a humidifier off Amazon stuff because some of them have recalls." And I was like, "Oh, you're right. I should check." And then I saw he had the exact same one, so I was like, "Man, you just assume I got the wrong one."
Hmm.
Anyway, I digress. Yes, I have the exact same one. You need to clean that one. Prabby says he cleans it twice a season. Sorry, once or twice a season, something like that. I find I've been cleaning it a bit more than that. So far once every 3 weeks, which is still not the recommended. They recommend once a week, but I feel like that's too much. Yeah,
Is
it's
it
pretty.
dishwasher?
No, it's
Ah.
it's pretty gross. Like you can Google it. Like a lot of people have different ways. Soak your humidifier for about 30 minutes. Some will say an hour. Uh, and then scrub it. I think you're good from there. I forget exactly, but every time I Google it, something different comes up. I don't think you can go wrong. Prabby uses vinegar first, cleans it, lets it soaks, dries it overnight, and then the next day he uses bleach, lets it soak, cleans it, lets it dry, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, time to return my humidifier.
I mean, definitely see if it improves though, like if it helps your symptoms. Because I know I definitely feel it when the humidity is low. I get eczema.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot more serious. So, cleaning it is worth it in that case. But in this case,
I know. It's so gross.
Okay. Well, now my update is sad, and
I'm
glad
happy for you. I'm glad we talked about it though.
I'm glad we talked about it too. I'm glad I brought it up. Like, it is a learning lesson, but it's like, ugh, I already have to clean my dish rack, like my drying rack already with bleach. And it's like, that's already a pain. It's just that the thing is so big that it's like hard to put into a sink. Last time we cleaned our dish rack, I made Jordan shower with it because it was just like more of like a surface like to clean it, and it's like just better that way. But maybe I can get him to shower with our humidifier
in vinegar.
Well,
that's funny. I have the exact same feelings. It's very hard to clean in our sink, and I refuse to clean it in our kitchen sink. So it's the bathroom sink or the bathtub.
Yeah, our bathroom sink is not big enough to be able to clean it. So
neither is ours. Truly the cons of living in a condo.
now I'm like, do I actually want to buy a condo?
On the plus side, you got it at a good time, because this time last year was when we moved in like March, but from March to November, I would say, like, we used a humidifier, but not a lot. So we didn't really like clean it that much, like maybe like once. But now that we've been using it regularly through the winters, we've been cleaning it a lot more. So I think you're okay.
Yeah, but using it like, so I'll use it between February to March, but then I'll stop kind of using it. And also, like, I have to use it again next year, though.
Then you'll clean it more next year. The first year is a giveaway.
Okay. Thank you for teaching me this valuable lesson. And I'm glad I kept the box in my humidifier. I'm going to keep it for a few days and see how I feel about it.
Good call.
Does it grow like green mold?
No. I think the first time we got it was pink mold, actually. Don't know where that came from. Then there started becoming like looked like mucus almost, but not actually mucus. It was like brown, off-white, brownish. Not brown, but like beigeish color. That was building up, and I was like, gross. It's like water mold. Ew. Yeah, slime. You just got slimed.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Good thing Amazon's return policy is good enough.
Yeah. Wow, you're so sad. This is a sad update for you, I guess.
Yeah, it truly, because like I don't know. I don't know why I thought that I wouldn't have to clean it so regularly. I know. Because it was like, it's like a towel, like in Nick from New Girls, it's like, why do I have to ever wash my towel? My towel gets washed. My towel's clean because I'm clean. That logic.
Yeah.
What is your update? And I hope it's happier than mine.
I don't have a happy update. My week has been so stressful. So, I mean, because we filmed this like so close together, my boyfriend is still gone in BC. So I am still a single parent with my dog, Jackie. He has been so clingy, and he misses Nick so much. I know that was my last week update too, but I forgot to mention that Jackie basically went on a hunger strike. So he wasn't eating like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And I left him at home when I went into the office, and I was like, oh, maybe like he'll eat, because sometimes he does eat when I leave. But he didn't touch anything. He has no problem eating human food. Like, he'll eat my snacks with me. He'll eat dinner with me. Like, he'll eat cabbage for some reason. He was eating some of my potatoes. I don't give him too much, by the way, because I don't want to like mess him up. And I don't want him to be spoiled. That's another thing. So yeah, so I gave him some of that. He was eating, no problem. But when it came to his dog food, nope. He did not want to eat it. And then I heard the most glorious noise last night. At around 3 or 4 a.m., he was munching his food. And I woke up because he's so freaking loud. And I was like, yay, I'm so happy, but also I'm so tired. Back to bed. So that's at least like a happy update.
Why do you think, is it separation anxiety from Nick?
Yeah, this kind of happened before because I was messaging Nick and I was like, hey, I'm getting a bit worried. It's been like 3 days and he's not really eating. And Nick was like, no, don't take him to the vet. This has happened before. Don't get charged $2,000. I think it was like, oh, so his mom went to PEI like 2 years ago. So it was like me and Nick just at his house. And his dogs went on a hunger strike. Like his other dog, Tiger, like refused to eat food. And then when Jackie tried to, Tiger like beat his ass. So dogs will just do the wildest things. So I'm hoping when I drop Jackie off at Nick's mom's house tomorrow night that he will eat no problem.
Yeah, I think like part of it too is like you guys are always home, especially Nick. Like Nick is
Mm-hmm.
always home and always around him. So like I can see why like the separation anxiety kind of develops and how like
Mm-hmm.
that manifests into like not eating his food.
Yeah, that's why I joked this week that Nick was my stay-at-home dad that I took for granted. And I'm the busy working mom trope in all the rom-coms.
Is he enjoying his time in BC?
I think so. Definitely, from the stuff he's telling me, it's definitely interesting. Like, I definitely would not have had fun myself because they're a
Mhm.
very outdoorsy family. So good for them. They're skiing, they're snowmobiling,
Yeah.
all things I don't want to do.
Yeah. I haven't gotten any snaps from Nick this from his time in BC.
I've gone only like one or two, but they're really like weird snaps.
Mm. I assume like if he was doing all those things, he'd be like, "Look, snap of me snowboarding, snap of me." Yeah.
You forget that Nick has very little data, so he probably used it all up.
Right. True. That is true.
um, I had a funny story. I think he mentioned like I think we were talking about summer plans or something, and he was like, "Oh, Canada Day weekend, I'm camping," and I was like, I just want to clarify that means like you are camping. Like I'm not involved, right? Because I don't remember being planned for this. And he was like, yeah, don't worry. I know you said you'd rather die than camp with me, so it's okay. And I was like, oh my God, when you say it like that, I sound awful, but I stand by it.
I don't think it's the rather die than camp with him. It's just you would rather die than camp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just had to say it like that.
Yeah.
And I said as a joke, like, oh, my parents like didn't escape a third world country for me to live in third world conditions. And then I don't know if he thought I was kidding or joking, but he keeps like repeating that to like his dad and his stepmom. And then they were like, oh, okay, I see. So now I'm like, no, I'm just joking. Like, of course my parents would be okay with me camping. I don't think they care, but I just wanted to make light of camping.
Yeah. It's a funny joke. I guess he tells it. It's not as funny.
Yeah, when he tells it, it makes me sound like I'm suffering or my family suffered. When I say it, it's haha funny.
Yeah, I think you need the minority status to be able to
Mm-hmm.
make that joke
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
funny. Yeah, that makes
Jokes he
sense.
can't say.
Yeah. Well, on the bright side, that means you're free to go to the Mandarin's Canada Day buffet if they have it this year.
I hope they do. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
What's your beef or crush of the week?
So my beef is a store that I get all of my bagels from on Too Good To Go because their bagels are the best bagels I've had. And I'm out of bagels now. So I set a Too Good To Go for today. And just before this podcast, I found out that they had no surplus of food. So they canceled my Too Good To Go. And I was so excited because Too Good To Go gets us out of the house. It's such a nice day out. It's all sunny, the weather is nice. And now I have no reason to leave my house.
I'm sorry, that sucks. Um,
Yeah.
where do you get your bagels from?
It's this place called Mabel's Bakery.
Mm.
They have very good like variety in their Too Good To Go. So it's like sometimes you get loaves of bread, sometimes you get bagels, sometimes you get like dish pastries. You get a lot. Like it's like a lot. It's like a heavy bag of food every time. So
Whoa, for $7.99?
$4.99.
Wow,
Yeah.
stonks.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
bagels.
Yeah. It's like my go-to when I go to the gym in the mornings. Like that's kind of like I make a bagel with cream cheese and I eat that before I go to the gym.
Mm, yum.
They have like this
Nutrient.
oatmeal raisin bagel that's really good.
Ooh, fancy. What cream cheese
Yeah.
do you use?
The whipped cream cheese.
Philadelphia?
Yeah, Philadelphia whipped
Ah,
cream cheese.
mm,
Yeah. It's carried over from I think Jordan's mother who always buys Philadelphia whipped cream cheese, so then I
mm.
was like, "Huh, okay." It
Hmm. I like trying fun cream cheeses. Um,
doesn't taste any different. It just feels fluffier. Is your beef or crush of the week?
my beef was work. I just feel like it was crashing so hard on me. And then I tried to explain to my manager that I was so busy, and she was like, "Oh, what are you busy with?" And I had a list, but then I kind of like glossed over the list, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay. If you have anything else to give me, no problem. I'll take it." And I was like, "Oh God, why am I like this?" And then I had a coffee chat today with like a coworker in Vancouver. So I guess it's a beef and a crush. But my coworker in Vancouver, we're not really on the same team. I just kind of worked with her once or twice. And she was so lovely. She's been with my company for about 10 years. We talked about school, talked about our comms struggles. I'm in a communications role. And I was just like very open with her and was like, you know what? Sometimes I take things too personally. And she said, oh my God, I'm the exact same way. Starting out, my manager would change up so many of my stuff. And I would be like, oh my God, I am not a good writer at all. But you know what? It comes with the job. That's what you get for being in comms. Like, you'll get used to it. And you have to learn to not take it personally. They just want to make it better. And everyone has their own tone of writing, and it's all subjective. And I was like, wow, you're so great. You're my crush. Yeah.
Aw, you might make a new work friend.
In Vancouver, she's like
All of
remote.
my coworkers are in Vancouver.
Well, there's a chance I may never see her. So she's my online friend that your parents warned you about.
It's fine. It's okay to have online friends. We live in an age of technology where we can
Mm-hmm.
text
Mm-hmm. As long as they're of age, no problemo.
and have an iPhone. No problemo.
What?
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad you had that. I'm glad you're also doing coffee chats. Proud of you.
Thanks. They're a struggle because people get really busy, and I've been rescheduled like 4 times with my work crush, 4 times with another person that I was telling Wanda about. Never ends. But put
Yeah.
yourself out there, ladies.
Eventually, they'll have to do it.
Yeah. Mhm. My crush should have also been Uber One. I feel like I just keep browsing everything, and I bought something from Uber One for 2 days in a row now.
What did you get?
I think the first day was like some pizza that I wanted. Um, and then the second day it was a BOGO sushi deal because I came home from work and I passed out and I was like, I guess I'll make some dinner, but also I want some sushi. But that was my dinner. So I'm hoping I don't buy anything today, but we'll see.
Um, yeah. I try to not order every day, even though
Mm-hmm,
Jordan is a
mm-hmm.
temptress and he tries to get me to get it.
That's funny. I'm the temptress, but no one's here to stop me.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I got it because work like periodically would give us like Uber credits for like 20 or 30 bucks. So it's like I was like, okay, you know what? If this keeps happening, like I'll just buy it for a full year, especially because like we are going to move to downtown. So it felt like worth it in that
Mm.
case. But it's so toxic. I just constantly
Mm-hmm.
scroll it and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, hmm, look, what is Uber going to offer me today?
Mm-hmm. What's a fun little treat to get me through the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. Cool. Good beefs. Good crushes. So on to Valentine's Day. Um, I guess I've only actually been really celebrating it for the past 2 years. But Wanda, tell me what your usual Valentine's Day is. Tell me what you're doing this year. What's up your sleeve?
So it's a little weird that like you would think that I would have like a routine
I don't
Valentine's Day
know.
like
Well, like Keith from the Try Guys does. He's like, we go see 50 Shades of Grey, and then we go to Outback Steakhouse or whatever it is.
okay, that's fair, but also that's fucking weird. Ooh,
Yeah.
on the note of that, did you know that there is another Magic Mike? Last Magic Mike, apparently?
The third one? It's already released? I thought it was
Oh, it's coming out on Valentine's Day or something.
Oh, I remember they were talking about it, but I can't remember who's in it.
Channing Tatum and Salima Hayek?
Who?
Salma Hayek?
Oh. Oh, I love her. She's hot.
Yeah. Can't believe the amount of shit that she is in is absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm. And her husband is Richie Rich.
So she definitely just does this for fun.
Yeah. I read about her because I was like watching House of Gucci, and then it was like a tongue in cheek thing because her husband owns Gucci.
Oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
really?
He's the CEO of like the parent company that owns Gucci. Yeah, right? Crazy.
Oh shit. Okay. That's very funny, but also the range.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I forget who
She
she played in House of Gucci.
I think she was one of the family members, no?
No, I don't think so. She was an Italian.
I do not have a routine Valentine's Day plan because that is very weird. No offense to Keith. Very weird. Um, don't like celebrating Valentine's Day like necessarily on Valentine's Day because how I celebrate things is I go somewhere for food or I go get takeout. So know how busy it is usually for restaurants on Valentine's Day. So I try to not add to that busyness by ordering food. So I think plan is for this year. I don't know what I did last year. I have no idea. Oh, I think Jordan sent me popcorn. We weren't together on Valentine's Day last year. He sent me popcorn as a surprise from
Hmm.
Cineplex and I think like a milkshake and stuff. So that was very nice of him.
Oh.
But this year, what I said I wanted to do was on Valentine's Day we watched the reality TV show, like one or I don't know, like the one where they get all the reality TV
Oh, yeah,
stars from.
yeah.
What's it called?
I forgot.
Okay,
Like Perfect
that.
Match or something like that.
Yeah. Like that show. We're gonna watch that show because that's coming out on that day, and then we're probably just gonna eat like a HelloFresh like we do every night, and maybe get high or something. And that's kind of like our Valentine's Day plans. But on the Saturday after Valentine's Day, there's like very old TikTok trend probably now where you choose like you have two pieces of paper and you like usually the guy I don't know, it doesn't have to be gender, but it's usually a guy for some reason, holds up the two pieces of paper and then like the girl, who's usually his partner, his girlfriend, whatever, like picks one. Um and that's what you end up doing. So it could be like Starbucks or bubble tea. And like if you pick Starbucks, then you go to Starbucks. So it's like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. And I'm making him plan it by just
Cute.
writing things on note cards.
That's so cute. We're also doing a TikTok trend, very similar. There was one where it was like you go to a restaurant or grocery store and you choose like the appetizer, the main course, and dessert, or you like something that the other person would like. So we're gonna do that and just surprise each other so we don't have to get takeout. Just do grocery store stuff.
Are you doing it together or are you going in at like separate times?
Now we'll go in together. We'll just like check out separately.
I have like knowing the things that Nick picks out, I have fears for
Me
you.
too. I know the thing that I'll get him will be okay, but the thing that he'll get me, I'll be like, oh god, I don't know. I feel like I'm very specific with what I like, but also like I tell him a lot. Like I have like a like I'm consistent. Like if it's something bad, I'll be like, I don't like this. Like this is the stuff I kind of don't like. But I don't know if he remembers. We'll see.
Yeah. And is he going to shop for himself or is he going to shop for you? Or is it
Mm-hmm.
going to be like for
Mm-hmm.
you, but for him?
Mm-hmm. Because he knows I
Aw.
like sweet stuff, but sometimes he gets things that are like too sweet that I'm like, no, I can't eat this.
Yeah. It's hard. But I mean, like, it's a grocery store. So it's like, it's not like
Mm-hmm.
you're spending that much money anyway. So it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we're both doing TikTok trends.
Yeah. I mean, I've been wanting to do the whole like choose your own adventure kind of thing for a while because like I feel like it's kind of fun. The other TikTok trend I really want to do is like throwing like pens into like a
Oh
cup or
my
something
god. Yeah.
because I think it's just super interesting. Not in like a oh I want a baby, I want a baby, I want a cat, I want a dog or like things like those and it's like but like just like letting fate decide and my aim.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have bad aim.
Yeah, me too.
Hmm.
Are you looking forward to your plans?
It's okay. I feel like I don't like to like hype up these kinds of things. Um, I think that just goes for like birthday. I think it just comes with old age. Like, I don't really want to hype up my birthday. You know what I should compare it to? It's like Jess from New Girl when she's like has such unrealistic expectations for her birthday. So that's why she just celebrates it alone. I'm very similar. I have to set the bar low and go in thinking that that's what's gonna happen.
I'm like the exact opposite. I have such high expectations and I expect them to be met.
Oh, no. I don't want to do that. Because I'll just
But
be
it's
sad.
but like just tell people what you want. Like
Why can't he know? Why can't people just know what I want?
because he's not you. Also, like it's not like you're very consistent. You're like
Mm.
sometimes you're like I want this, but then other times you're like I don't really want that. I want something else. So it's like it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to
Mm-hmm.
be you.
Think about how I feel.
Touche.
No.
Are you doing gifts?
I don't think so. I think we kind of did gifts last year, but I only bought stuff that I knew he would need or things that he would never buy himself. Like this weird salted egg chip that he was like, "Wow, that's such a weird thing," and I got it for fun, and we still have it to this day because no one likes it.
It's like that cake.
Hey, I
He
like
never
that
got to
cake.
try that cake.
He did try it.
Oh yeah, he did. Why did
He
I
was
think he
there.
wasn't there that day?
I don't know. He was there. I don't think he liked it very much though. I liked it.
Same vibe though, salted egg.
hmm.
But I
Um,
mean, do you know if he's getting you anything?
I said don't get me anything. Maybe like flowers, but I said no flowers in the wintertime because I'm worried about like the humidity in our place and if he'll die. But so far I've been getting a lot of Lego flowers from him. So I have that to look forward to assemble.
Yeah, it's fun. I think like Lego flowers are so much better than flowers in my personal opinion, just
I agree.
because they don't die and it's a fun
Mhm.
activity to do together.
Mhm. He said he would not do it with me because of his forearms, but he will watch me. He'll paint with me, but he won't do Legos with me. But
Man
which
is
I
so
think is
broken.
I know, like it's for, but I feel like he picks and chooses his battles because painting for some reason he'll do, but Legos he won't. It's like a fun like Lego thing. It's a fun puzzle. He was in engineering. He should want to do this stuff.
I'm so sorry. I mean, at
Sorry
least
to
you get to
Nick.
do fun puzzle you enjoy.
Yeah, it's okay. I want it to be a me project anyways. I don't really like it when people touch my Legos.
Oh, so you're that kid, huh?
Well, I never really had Legos as a kid because I never liked them. I was more of a
Yeah.
Barbie gal.
Did you let people touch your Barbies?
Only the ones I didn't like. The really cool ones, like with the wings and the singing Barbies, like, no, they were off limits. I knew people would
Mm,
destroy them with their greasy hands.
that's so funny.
Do you have like a memorable Valentine's Day in your past 26 years? Worst or best?
Mm, Best Valentine's Day would probably be when I was a child and I used to get those like candy shaped like lollipops and like Hershey's kisses. Cause you know,
Mm.
like on like the days before Valentine's Day, you'd like make the bag for like to put all the gifts and candy in and everything for Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
So then when Valentine's Day comes around, and I barely ever gave anyone cards or chocolate, but I think I did it one year. But anyways, when Valentine's Day comes around, like everyone drops in the chocolate and everything and the candy into your little like Valentine's Day bag, and then you go home and it's basically like another like Halloween and
Mhm.
where you get all this candy and sweets and everything. Oh,
Yeah.
that was my best.
Mhm. Yeah, that was always nice. For the longest time, I don't think I actually like bought candy for people. Like I assumed the kids who bought candies were just like rich kids. Like I did the cards because they were cheap, but never candy. And I didn't blame kids who like didn't give me candy because I was like I couldn't afford it either, or like I was too afraid to ask my mom.
Oh. like props to the kids who actually like who did end up like writing your name on the card
Mm-hmm.
and putting candy on it. Those are the real MVPs of our grade.
I wrote the names on. I just didn't get the candy.
You're so close.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's your best?
Um, I don't know if I really have a best. I have like an embarrassing one. I mean, it was not that embarrassing, but like in grade four, I did like Harry Potter themed Valentine Day cards because, love Harry Potter, still love it to today. And like I gave a Valentine's Day card to my grade four teacher at the time. And it said something like, hope we here's to our magical friendship or something like that. I don't really know. I didn't really pay attention to it. Then I was like, oh, this is to Mr. R. So I gave it to him, and then at the end of the day, he like called me over and was like, Maggie, I don't know if this Valentine's Day card is super appropriate. Magical friendship. We're a teacher and student, and I was like, what? And I felt so embarrassed, and I was like, this is like so weird. I didn't like see it like that. Um, and I think he was joking because like that's just how he was with a lot of students. But I was like, man, I am so embarrassed. I'm never giving a Valentine's Day card to a teacher again.
I don't know how, like, you know how like some teachers like just don't have enough boundaries, and then other teachers, it's like, you didn't need to do that. Like, you kind of just like, what, like, did you, like, it said friendship. It wasn't like romantic relationship. Like, it's okay. Like,
They're children's
so,
Valentine's Day cards. They're not meant to be
yeah,
weird.
yeah. You're like, what, 8 years old?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you probably barely even understood what the card meant.
Yeah, I just thought it had Ron, Hermione, and Harry on it, and I was like, Mr. R would love this, I bet. I'll give him the cool one.
And fuck Mr. R.
Yeah. I mean, he was a great teacher in some ways, but also bad in some ways. That'll be another story.
Man, fuck that guy. I don't like that. I think it's okay to set boundaries as a teacher, but I don't think you need to like humiliate your students if
Yeah.
it's unneeded.
I agree. Definitely a weird Valentine's Day, but did get a lot of candy.
Yeah. You say that was your least favorite Valentine's Day?
I wouldn't say it was like the worst maybe it was because like that's the only one I remember. And I never really like celebrated except for the whole giving cards to the class thing.
Mm. I don't know if this was a Valentine's Day or just like in or around Valentine's Day or for something else, but in my memory, it seems to be a Valentine's Day. But this one was like I would probably say was my worst, and it was like with my ex, and he like never really got me anything, like never really celebrated or planned anything, and like I just got like really mad, I guess, like during that time, and I was like, I can't believe like you don't really care, essentially. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was just like back then I was like very into like letting things boil up inside of me and not saying anything until like I exploded. Um, so like I guess it's hard to say the worst because like he like tried to make it up with to me by like buying me like gifts or something, and then like I didn't want to see him, so he just like left it outside. He was like, just go get it whenever you're ready, but he like drove all the way. He probably drove like 3 hours or something to like drop it off, which was like nice of him to do that, but also
Mm,
it was like, was this a little too
unnecessary.
late?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like, get it, like think like that is nice of you to do, but also like why not just put in the effort kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. But
Mm-hmm.
also that was on me for not saying anything earlier.
I feel like there's a line between like yes, communication is great, but also it's about initiative too. Like putting in the effort. Like you shouldn't have to always tell them. Like the example is like, parents. Like women or mothers will just like know what to do and then they have to tell their partner or husband, dad, whatever it is, to know what to do. And the dad is always like, "Oh, well, how was I supposed to know? Like you didn't tell me. I can't read your mind." And the mom is like, "Well, no one told me either. How come I know to do it?" So I feel like it's similar to that. Same, but different. Like they knew it's like coming up. You shouldn't really have to say anything. They should really put in the initiative, put in the work and the hours.
And like back then I wasn't like, oh, I don't like gifts or anything. Like I think it's too hard to get gifts for people because like I think I always got like really good gifts. But like This is okay. So, how do you feel about always telling your partner what to get you for like holidays or birthdays or whatever?
I think you have something in mind and you want something specific, then that's fine.
But what if it's like always like they're always just like, "Oh, what can I get for you?"
Oh. Hmm. It's hard to say. I guess like from their point of view, they're trying to be considerate, I guess, if you do have anything in mind. But also, I'm still like, you should know. Be creative.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's like sometimes it's like okay, like there this goes back to the whole grocery store thing where we were talking about it's like you have things that you like and it's like you have things that you don't like. So even if that's not 100% the thing that you're feeling today, but is something that you generally like, you're still happy to receive it. But if they
Hmm.
get you something as a surprise and it's something that you don't even really like and you're like,
Yeah, I know it's like they put in the thought and the effort, but I'm still like, you should know that I don't like this.
did they put in the thought and the effort if they just pick something that you don't even like
Mm.
if it was
Mm-hmm.
like pure ignorance like you've never talked about this before and they did not know about this then sure that's okay but if they you've said it before like oh you don't like mushrooms
Mm.
and then they got you something that's like mushroom friend like mushroom heavy or something
I'd be pissed. Yeah.
yeah
Is that what happened when he drove 3 hours to your house and then got you things you hated? Olives.
no that would have been so funny though I probably would have just like broken it up then. Do you think like holidays where it's like Valentine's Day or stuff like really like it's a spark back into your relationship or something?
No. I feel like that should be almost every day thing. Not like every day, but you don't need a special day to really emphasize to your partner like, "Hey, I really enjoy spending time with you. Love you." Like, if you need a day to remind yourself to do that, make that maybe every Wednesday or something. Because if you need that day to keep the spark alive, I got bad news for you, my guy.
Yeah. I hate the whole like, oh, you can only give flowers on Valentine's Day or you can only give cards on Valentine's Day and things like that. It's like you can do that at any time. You don't need
Hmm.
to do it specifically on the day of the manufactured holiday Hallmark.
It's all
Um,
consumerism.
yeah, it truly is. There was something that I read on Reddit that I thought was really interesting that it was like if you like get a gift or if you do something for someone but it's very consistent like if you get flowers for your wife every Saturday or something or your husband and after a while like they'll grow tired of that because like it's just like monotony it's routine kind of thing they're not like oh like this is so good and cool and everything it just feels like something that you do so what's better is to actually give them like inconsistent like things so it's like if you get them flowers like occasionally or if you like them chocolate like occasionally like very
Hmm.
spontaneous like then it becomes like a lot better and like it's actually healthier for the relationship because
Hmm.
like people's brain like don't feel like it's a routine.
Ah, gotta keep the spark alive by doing random things, spontaneous things.
Yeah, exactly. Like as soon as something becomes too much a routine it gets like it has the opposite effect.
That's why we should quit our jobs right now. Keep the spark alive.
Yeah, you're right. You know, that's what truly keep what like it's truly keeping us from like a very joyful and prosperous relationship.
Hmm. What's the most romantic thing you've done for someone on Valentine's Day? It's okay. I don't have a good response either.
I going back to my whole I don't think of Valentine's Day as that as anything more than a manufactured holiday. I don't think I really do big romantic gestures in general.
Yeah, me neither. I think the most I did was I bought him stuff he needed. Great. And when we went out for dinner, my brother paid for us.
Oh, going back to also the worst Valentine's Day, I have another bad story.
What happened?
So I was like younger and I was like dating this much older person and like not even gonna go into that relationship. It was terrible. Don't do what I did. And like I like got him like a whole bunch of candies that like I knew he would enjoy and stuff. Got him like a whole bag of like Jelly Bellies, whatever. Like just got him general things that he's talked about that he's like really liked. And I like that for Valentine's Day. Like I gave it to him and he was just like, "Oh, cool, thanks." And then he like got me nothing
What?
and did not really even appreciate the gift. And I was like, I spent my hard-earned money on this, which I didn't have a lot of because I was young.
Looking back now, if would you have broken up with him on that day? Like, sorry, let me rephrase that. If Jordan did that today, like on Valentine's Day, what would you say to him?
I wouldn't necessarily expect him to get me a gift back because like it could have just been like, "Oh, I wanted to get this for you." But if he didn't appreciate what I got for him and he just kind of like blew over it and like blew it off or whatnot, I would be like,
How
"Oh,
dare you?
what is this? What like why like are you not thankful for this gift? What's going on?"
Hmm.
Like I would try to be like, "Okay, like is there something else going on?" But
Mm.
then otherwise I'd be like, "Okay, why don't like why did you not appreciate my hard work in putting together this gift? Do you
Mm-hmm.
still love me anymore? Do you still want to be together? Is
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
how you break up with me?"
Yeah, that's a good call. I'd react the
What would you
exact same
do?
way. No,
Okay.
exact same.
Okay. Glad we're consistent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you'll just do my breakups for me then.
What?
Like if we're gonna react in the same way, like every time I go through emotional like turmoil in a relationship, I'll just be like, "Maggie, talk to him." He'll react the same way.
don't love that. Okay, how should a single person spend Valentine's Day? What do you suggest?
But with friends, do nothing. Treat yourself. Um, it depends. Like, do you the number one thing that you should not do on Valentine's Day is feel shitty about yourself and make it such that you feel like you're very alone because you are not alone. There are many people who are celebrating Valentine's Day by themselves. If you don't want to be alone, go out with your parents if they don't really have any Valentine's Day plans. Siblings, friends, coworkers, like the world's your oyster
Mm-hmm.
on who to
Mm-hmm.
choose to go out for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And me, again, it is a manufactured holiday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I feel. I think it is easier said than done almost because yeah, single people you see all the gross couples and everything, and you can't help but feel a pang of jealousy and hatred to Valentine's Day. So try to be positive. You're right, treat yourself. Maybe don't go to a restaurant because you'll see it even more. But yeah, I think spend time with your gal pals, your boy pals.
Do whatever. Yeah, you don't have to go out to a restaurant. You could stay home and order takeout or just buy some snacks and just hang out or just do everything by yourself. Like, you gotta learn to enjoy your own company.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And if you do want another person to be in a relationship with, put yourself out there. Try something new. Go network.
Yeah, people get real desperate on Valentine's Day, so
Mm-hmm,
start swiping on the apps.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's funny because I think that's when around the time Nick told me he downloaded Bumble. And a few days
So
later,
funny.
we swiped right on each other. So,
Aw. Wait.
Valentine's Day, guys. Download the apps.
Yeah, let that be the push for you to
Mm-hmm,
finally
mm-hmm.
download the app.
Yeah,
They're not sponsored, but we wish you were.
we wish, yeah. How do you deal with unwanted romantic attention?
On Valentine's Day?
Yeah, this has never happened to me, so I don't know how to answer.
Yeah, you know how like people are always like, "Wow, I get like approached in coffee shops and like someone hits on me or something like that." That does not happen to me. I
Mm-hmm.
have never
Mm-hmm.
once been approached in any way. I'm hoping it's because I'm intimidating and not because I am nobody's type. But also, I think we've talked about this. Do I want to be approached in a coffee shop by myself anyways? I don't think so.
Mm-mm. I'd be scared if a random person came up to me. But also, I guess maybe I'd be If I was single and they were cute and they approached me, oh no, I would still think they have ulterior motives. Yeah, I don't know.
What are you trying to sell me? What are you
Yeah,
trying to
exactly. I've
sign me
seen
up for?
Taken.
Ooh, yeah. Hmm. I would be like, okay, we can stay in this coffee shop and go nowhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I must watch you leave first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't think of any time that has happened. But
you know that
what are
SpongeBob
we?
thing? It's just like I'm ugly.
How long have I been ugly for?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's like an ugly thing. I think it's just people respect boundaries in public. I think there's a lot of pressure to one, have the courage to go up to people, and two, being bold enough to put the other person in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, but like, why am I not pretty enough such that people will break boundaries for me? Like,
Yeah,
come on.
I think you're okay. I mean, it happens in clubs, like seedy clubs. No problem. People will come up to you. In like a public setting, you like grocery stores, coffee shops. I respect that people have boundaries.
Yeah, I guess. You know how in Modern Family, Phil and Claire every year like pretend to be like strangers that meet in a bar and everything, and they like hit on each other to like, oh, that's their thing. Would you ever do that?
Role play. Um,
Yes.
I think no. Like I don't see myself really doing that, but I wouldn't like rule it out. Like maybe, who knows? Down the line we might want to do that too.
Yeah. I think I talked about it with Jordan when that thing, like when that episode came on, and I was like, "Would you do that?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I don't know how to pick up women."
But
Like,
he's picking up you, so he knows exactly what you like and dislike.
I get it because it's like think about this. Like think about if you try to approach Nick like sitting at a bar and you had to pretend you were strangers. Like what would you say to him?
Oh, lately there's been like this really cute thing going around on TikTok where it's like you go up to the person, you're like, hey, the person over there thinks you're really cute. And then you're supposed to run over there and sit down and be like, hey. So I think that's cute.
Okay. And then what would you follow it up with?
Oh shit. Didn't think I'd get that far. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really talk to people in public, so I don't really know.
See, it's
Mhm.
somehow like even though that you know that this is like your partner and you are like you know each other and you've been together for that long, somehow when you get put into that position, you completely forget everything, including how
Mhm.
to interact with a human, especially one that you've known for a long time. So it's like
Yeah.
stage fright.
Mhm. I've stage fright just thinking about it.
Literally. What's your next thing? Uh
Run away.
yeah, it's funny. Maybe try it sometime and let us know what happens.
Not anytime soon, but I'll let you know when we do, if we do.
Yeah. I don't know why I have this image of like it happening and then someone like other girl or something goes up to you being like, "Are you okay? Like do you need out of the situation? Like is he
That'd be
bothering
so
you?"
funny. That'd be really funny.
Yeah. But, good for her for doing like good for her for coming up to you, making sure that you're safe.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
also, what does that say about Nick?
Mhm.
We hope everybody has a great had a great Valentine's Day, I guess, by the time that this podcast is out. And if you didn't have a great Valentine's Day, that's okay too. Once again, my tagline for this episode is that Valentine's Day is a manufactured holiday and it means absolutely nothing. But if it means something to you, the power to you. Anyways, thank you for listening to another episode. Go follow us and like us on social media, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And go listen to us and like us wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And join us next Thursday for another episode of Apologetically Me.
Bye.
Bye.